All right, let's talk Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 3. So, this episode was a filler in many ways, but also progressed the storyline and so many others. I thought the episode was great in general, so let me just start there. But it was really cool to be able to see Chris waking up in the other universe and realizing that, honestly, everything that he had kind of hoped and desired, as far as being beloved, having his family, his relationship with Hardcore, all of that can exist in this other universe. And obviously, who hasn't been there, right? Who hasn't wished and hoped that things were different and that they could just step into another reality and have all the things that they've been dying for and all the things they want. I think that what this is going to inevitably result to is Chris realizing that although, yeah, this is going to give him everything that he thinks he wants, it's not his universe. It's not ultimately his Hardcore. And even though, I loved seeing the interactions and but this Hardcore is soft, right? She's much softer than the one he is accustomed to. And I think he's going to realize that, it's just not, it's not actually his, none of this belongs to him. And so I think that it's going to set up for some pretty dramatic episodes to come. But honestly, who thought John Cena was this good of an actor? When he was sitting on the bench with Hardcore and he was coming to the realization that, yeah, he's a dick. There's a lot of things he needs to work on. And he kind of sees, what his other self was and, how it affected people. It seemed very genuine from John Cena. I'm more and more impressed with his acting chops as I continue to watch Peacemaker. The fight going into the DMV, that was pretty cool. I definitely, it was our Peacemaker. At first, I was a little bit worried. Does the Peacemaker in this other universe, does he kill people to maintain peace? But ultimately, you clearly saw that that's the same in both universes. But yeah, I thought the fight sequence was really good, and I thought at the very end, the brother to brother moment, as a guy who's the youngest of has two older brothers, it was moving, it was touching. I can appreciate that and that scene. So like I said, it felt like a little bit of a filler episode, but also progressed the story in so many ways. And obviously ending with Argus showing up into the house of our universe's Chris. And then if you saw any of the previews for next week, obviously Chris is on the run. They're hunting him down. So I think it'll be interesting to see what progresses for next week's episode and see how, the storyline continues to progress. But this season of Peacemaker has hit a lot more notes than I kind of imagined it would. There were really a couple things I didn't like, however, right? So, and they were minimal, but the other Rick Flag being a little bit of a dope, okay, it is what it is, right? That's their universe's Rick Flag. I felt like it was silly. And then I'm done with the stupid fucking bird blindness. I can do without that. The bird blindness, scratch that. I think it's a dumb joke. It did not hit again for me. But, again, it is what it is, right? It's not going to be for everybody. So, yeah, I think Peacemaker, so far, 3 episodes in, win. Just ultimately just a really good show. They have such a great feel on what this character should be, and all the surrounding cast is honestly just doing an amazing job. So yeah, I'm looking forward to episode 4. But what do you guys think? Did you like the episode? What do you think of the alternate reality and the one that Chris is in? How do you think this is ultimately going to play out?